What is OMAD diet and should I try it? OMAD stands for one meal a day. And like all nutrition strategies, OMAD has its pros and its cons. Me personally, I'm not a big fan of OMAD for myself or my clients. OMAD is really, I suppose, a hardcore version of intermittent fasting. You might have heard of intermittent fasting, and a common window you see for that is maybe 16 hours of fasting and an 8-hour eating window. With OMAD, people just restrict themselves typically to a 1-hour eating window or just one meal, and then they fast the remaining 23-ish hours of the day. Pros of OMAD is that it can make it quite easy to stay in a calorie deficit. It can potentially reduce the time you spend per day cooking and dealing with food. The cons, I would say, though, do outweigh the pros. That long fasting time is pretty hefty. You can feel some pretty strong feelings of hunger. You can get quite strong cravings, which can make people very likely to then reach into the chocolate cupboard and snacking on sugars and other things like that. So A, it can be very tough mentally. 2, it can be pretty socially disruptive, particularly if you, let's say, live with a partner or family who have a more traditional eating pattern. It can be difficult for you to fit in well with that. And also friends who are going out eating and invite you around for dinner, all that sort of stuff can be a bit tricky. If you're going to try and fit your OMAD into that one restaurant meal, you might have to then spend a lot of money to get your OMAD in that restaurant meal to hit your calorie amount. So number 3, I would say OMAD can make you think less about food potentially, but for some people it actually makes them worry more because then they're thinking, can I fit in all my calories and my nutrients into that one meal a day? And actually thinking about that one meal a day can be quite stressful. Number 4, the calorie deficit that it can create can sometimes be almost too large. For some people, fitting in, let's say, 2,000 calories into one meal can be really tough to do. And so they maybe only end up eating maybe 1,000 or 1,200 calories. And so they might be in let's say, an 800 calorie deficit, which is for most people probably too big a deficit and will be very challenging. You might feel almost unwell, lacking in energy, maybe become quite irritable too. If you are going to do OMAD, what I would say is be really careful and make sure you track the calories that you're having to make sure that you are in a deficit, but not an enormous deficit. It does require some planning to make sure you are getting in both your kind of required calories, but also getting in things like your vitamins and minerals. And it can be worth supplementing with a multivitamin and vitamin D to make sure you are at least getting those essential nutrients day to day. OMAD, I'm not a huge fan just because of the various cons we've just talked through, but for some people, they love it and they really enjoy that more hardcore intermittent fasting style. So I wouldn't recommend it. Hope that's helped give you some more insight into what OMAD is, and I'll see you in the next video. Drop a follow and I'll see you soon.